This is the video for the week of February 20th through the 26th. This week you start Unit 2, Chapter 4, which starts with creating a custom publication from scratch. So up to this point we have been using templates that had objects and were pretty much formatted for us, so we just needed to drop things in those templates. But this week you will work on Chapter 4 starting from scratch. So chapter 4, be sure you've read the overview, looked at the objectives. The learning activities, although not graded, are very important to the success of you doing the hands-on assignments and the assessments. So be sure you read the chapter and take notes, do the tutorials within the chapter. That's very important that you work through those, or as a minimum at least read through those. And then at the end of the chapter, you will do your discussion 4, which is why is it important to choose complementary fonts for a heading and a body? What should you consider when deciding which fonts to use, and discuss any experience you've had in choosing fonts. So all about fonts, which we know are very important. If you paid any attention at all to logos, you'll find that many logos are actually most important because of the font they use. Assignment 4, you'll do the same 3, apply, extend in Lab 1, and then take the quiz. Again, though, be sure before you begin those that you have at least read through all of the tutorials. So in your textbook, creating a custom publication from scratch, read through, pay attention to the examples such as this one, gives you some good ideas for placement. You'll see that in this one they've used the rule of thirds. Notice that the Pizza Palace 10% takes up a third, this 10% takes up a third. So, and the whole flyer is divided into thirds if you look at it horizontally as well. Custom sized publications. Anything that has a red circle around it, you should work through. Even though this is opening a template of sorts, it's a blank template for you to work with, kind of a clean slate. You'll learn about color schemes and creating custom color schemes and not just choosing one. You'll learn about font schemes and choosing font schemes and editing graphics. We can do more and more editing of graphics in our software these days, so that we don't have to take it into Photoshop and edit it first, since some of us may not have that. You'll learn a little bit about different formats. This is the WMF format of the clip art. Building blocks. Those are quick, easy ways for us to use things that we use over and over again. The margin guide, using the margin guide, making picture corrections so the picture looks better. Draw a rectangle, text effects, gradients, a lot about color, the word art shape, a little about changing your formatting, your line spacing and bullets, anything in the paragraph dialog box. How to insert coupons in an advertisement. And deleting any customizations that you don't want in there anymore. So be sure you've gone through those first. Then for the grading or the assessments, apply your knowledge. Always look at the images of what it should look like. That will give you a good idea. Notice that this is a little bright background, but what they've done is made a darker, either bold or a different style font that shows up over that. You want to be sure to be able to read what's in your advertisement. Extend your knowledge, which is a fairly simple one, kind of a fun one where you're working with graphics. Be sure you get the colors right. You're putting an image inside a circle. Kind of a neat skill to know. Skip, expand your world, of course. And in the labs, you're doing lab 1, creating a recipe card. With this one, it should look very similar to this one. One of the biggest errors that's made in this is consistency with periods at the end of the sentence. So be sure that you do put a period at the end of the sentence. And then that will be it for this week. As always, be sure you ask questions if you have any. Also, we can always meet on Blackboard, collaborate if we need to have a meeting. So just let me know if you have any questions or want to schedule an appointment for a virtual meeting. End of this video.